Welcome to this special episode of Conversations with Taz. Actually, we're just gonna say reviews with Taz, Jay, and friends. That's what we're gonna call this, and I'll create a new logo for this because tonight starts the first series of our reviews where we go back and rewatch things from our childhood and your childhood too, and look at it through some adult lenses. So, my co-hostess with the mostest for this series, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, it's DMAC, as you know, from TikTok, DMAC 5 by 5. So, what we're going to be reviewing today from I'll turn the camera for this, multitudinous collection, as you can see, is, drum roll please, Are You Afraid of the Dark Season 1, Episode 1 and Episode 2. So we're just going to do a snippet because, again, due to the fair use content for YouTube, we cannot play the whole thing up here or else we'll get a content violation. So please do not come for our next when we have to cut it off after a certain amount of time. So again, I'm going to turn the camera. I will not be on camera. I will turn the TV up as loud as I can, and I'm going to start the timer when I do. All right. So here we go.
Let's get it.
Okay, let's do it. Submitted for the approval of a Midnight Society. I call this story
Move it down just a little bit.
The Tale of the Phantom Cab. Denny and Buzz were brothers. Strong and smart. Buzz was, well, kind of a geek.
Okay.
See, hold on. Wait a minute. See, here's my thing.
That was 30 seconds.
But why during our childhood did they always try to perpetuate the trope that every brother duo or every sister duo had to be one that's the popular jock and one that's the unpopular nerd? Like, come on now.
I don't know what to tell you on that one. I couldn't make an honest judgment on that because
and I felt like through the course of this episode, I don't feel like they were like 100% brothers. I felt like this was like a stepbrother situation where it's like my mama dating your daddy, so I feel like I'm better than you because in my little 44 years on this planet, the children of women who get with the men feel like they are like above the status of the children of the men. That's me. Maybe somebody else has had a different experience. Maybe they've seen different scenarios. I'm open to that. Because the older brother was very condescending through the whole thing. And he didn't seem like he could tie his shoes without assistance.
Again, until the end, he really did take his brother seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to clarify, we're going to give context to this. We're going to do this and we're going to do it right. So
yeah, and y'all get your snacks, get your meals. You know how we do on here. Get comfy.
This is from the Grimm's Fairy Tales. Now this is the good stuff. This isn't the Disney versions of these. Okay, so these are gruesome. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know now. They're gruesome. So this one particular story is titled "The Three Men in the Wood." This speaks to the brother dynamic or sister and sister dynamic. This one is in turn the sister dynamic. So it says, once upon a time there lived a man whose wife had died and a woman who had lost her husband. This man and woman had each had a daughter, and these two maidens were friendly to each other. Now remember, they started out as friends. They started out.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to walk together one day. And one day they came to the widow's house, and the widow said to the man's daughter, Do you hear? Tell your father I wish to marry him. And you shall in the morning wash in milk and drink it and drink wine, and my daughter will wash in water and drink water. So the girl told her dad this, and he's like, I don't know if I want to get married again, but here's a boot. It's got a hole in it. I want you to pour this water in it. If it doesn't hold water, then I'm not going to get married. If it holds water, then I'll get married. Now, how this magical boot was supposed to decide her father get married, I don't know. We will never know in this case. But long and the short of it is, it holds water. So they get married, and as the widow said to her when she came that day, he washed in milk and drank wine, and her daughter drank water. Then the next day, both daughters are washing in water and drinking water. Then the third day rolls around, and the widow's daughter is bathing in milk and drinking wine, and the man's daughter is drinking water and bathing in water. You see where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
So, see, speaking to that same dynamic as you were just saying, this is an inspiration for what we were just watching. So you see the two brothers as they are not getting along at this particular moment at the beginning. Again, I can only play 30 seconds. Blame YouTube for this shenanigans. I cannot do anything else.
And it goes to show that whether in this show, Disney shows, Lifetime, Hallmark, they always put this evilness on the stepmother and the evilness on the stepmother's children. Like they're the most toxic, as if everybody else in the situation can't be toxic. But also, in the beginning of this episode, the younger stepbrother falls off of a cliff, and the older stepbrother just reaches down and why were we believing that we could save somebody from a cliff fall with just one hand? Nobody else there, like we really didn't understand how physics worked.
Obviously not. But then, I'm going to back this up, and we're going to do another 30 seconds. Give me a second.
In there.
Boop.
Yeah, I'll see her.
So we have another clip showing, and we're gonna discuss this one too.
Okay.
Can everybody see? We
Oh,
good?
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Dude, forget it. You can freeze.
Maybe it's a maniac killing a hockey mask who's gonna slash us.
Or maybe you should stay here and let me do the talking. Hey, hello? Who's there? Oh, turn off the brights. Hello? What have we here?
I'm Buzz, and this is Denny. We got lost and we can't find the trail back to town.
Easy, Toad. You're not a ranger, are you?
Ranger? No, not me. I'm a traveler, same as you.
Flynn's the name. So what are you doing up here? You lost too?
Lost? Me?
So we also have the helpful stranger trope in this one.
I got
And
so many questions.
so
It's night. Nobody's looking for these kids. The younger son is so clueless and so filled with privilege that he introduces himself with his name and his brother's name and admits that they're by themselves, which, a child of color would never do, because we know that can get you unalived real quick. And an adult comes up and goes, I'm a traveler just like you. And nobody thought to go, how do you know we're travelers? Like, as a child, we just thought this was, normal-ish for us children of color.
But see, then you have to take it on the paint. We were latchkey kids. The kids of nowadays couldn't be latchkey kids.
Lord Jesus, no, they couldn't. They would have opened the door for everybody. Everybody.
Let's be honest and be real. Our parents could trust our older siblings to watch us by themselves. The parents nowadays, you couldn't trust them to watch paint dry.
These parents now, and these kids are like, don't have kids if you're going to have the older one watch blah, blah, blah. First of all, we're not asking. First of all, watching and parenting are two different things. Let's be real. And I'm not even the biggest Tyler Perry fan, but I cannot remember the play that it was in that the character Medea said this. You asked me to watch, and that's what I did. I watch. And I watched her do that dumb shit. That's it. Stop thinking that asking someone to watch your child or instilling in your children that they are their brothers, their sister's keeper is a bad thing. Sorry, not sorry. If y'all want to cancel me for saying that, do it. But instilling in your children that you are not going to be here forever and that they need to learn how to watch out for each other because they're watching, they're not raising. And those of y'all on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, sitting there going, well, we had to raise our siblings. No, you didn't. What did you pay for your siblings? What lessons did you teach your siblings? You watched them for 2 hours a day when you got out of school till your parents came home, and half the time you didn't even watch. They were sitting in their room doing what they wanted to do. You wasn't even watching. Because you was too busy trying to get the attention of that little girl that you liked at school, or that little boy that you liked at school. Come on now. You being asked to be your brother's keeper and watch? Nah. And little fun fact, let me throw this in. There was a guy I met my freshman year of college, undergraduate, who told me, oh, it's easy to raise kids. I help my sister with her kids all the time. I said, you babysit. There's a difference between babysitting and raising. He's like, no, there's not. Yes, karma bit him in the ass. And he got a girl pregnant. And he had to learn what raising meant. And years later, I ran into him at a party that I was asked to promote and show up at. So I did. And at this party that I showed up at, he pulled me to the side and was like, you were right. There's a difference between watching kids and raising kids. I said, listen to what you just said. Listen to what you just said. You were originally asked to watch, where the parent had established things and told you. There's a whole different thing when you got to figure it out, when you're responsible for all of that and everything else. Because if I can tell you, oh, my child is allergic to this, my child goes to bed at this time, my child, you're watching. There's a whole different set of everything when you have to be the one to figure it out. But I digress. Let's continue with the episode before I get on my soapbox.
So the next thing we have is, like I said, the helpful stranger who walks out of clearly nowhere and begins to help them. And I'm just like, really? Is this what we're doing now?
Did he really help them?
Well, no. And again, that's why I said the quote-unquote helpful stranger.
There's always one of those. It's always a Hansel and Gretel situation when it comes to kids in these shows. And I didn't realize that until I was an adult, but I digress.
Here's the thing with Hansel and Gretel. And see, we're going to get into that because that also focuses into this. Because it's basically playing off of the same exact narrative, only there's no candy in the house and there's no baking. With the Hansel and Gretel situation, you still have the one evil stepmama because she didn't want the kids because they weren't hers, blah, 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 well, whatever.
This is why funny because in real life, it's usually the potential, because they're never actually the stepfather, the potential stepfather that convinces the mama to off the kids. But in media, excuse me, it's the stepmama that offs the kids. But y'all say that life imitates art? No, it doesn't.
Because if we honestly look at this now, see, I view the Hansel and Gretel one as a separate incident, because if you look at the Hansel and Gretel from the canon movie tales that we both know, that we both watch,
Mm-hmm.
the mother was genuinely concerned. She was just like, "Where are my children?
Yep.
What has happened?" She was like, she was ready to move hell and back to get them children back. She was not playing. Because I mean, she understood in her anger, she drove them out. She was just like, "I don't want you to come back until you find some berries. I don't care what you got to do. I don't care where you got to go. You better find your berries." But she, in the back of her mind, she knew she had always warned them, "Do not go into these woods. Kids, do not return from these woods. Do not go into these woods. Point blank. If you go into these woods, I will literally have an aneurysm. Do not go there."
Exactly.
But because in her anger she didn't tell them that, she literally had a conniption when her husband came home bringing all the goods and stuff that he brought. And he's like, "Well, where are the kids?" And she was just like, "Well, after our neighbor brought us some milk, and they basically let the goat into the house." But really, that's not what happened. He just forgot to lock the door. The goat came in. The donkey came in. Sorry, not goat. And ate the custard and everything else. But she was just so angry, and she didn't realize that her commandment of "don't come back unless you find something" would cause them to go and break the rule that she had set for them before, to never go into those woods. And
That's why
that
I wonder if her ass was black.
girl, you ain't said nothing but a word. But that's the version I choose to go with.
Well, I should
Hansel.
say North American, United States black.
Yeah. That's the version I tend to go with Hansel and Gretel. I don't like the Hansel and Gretel from
Mm.
from
Check out this comment. What's your thoughts on that comment?
Evil stepmom is the fear of the unknown. A woman that comes into a house, her presence or her actions are to be. Yeah, that's the truth. That's not
But
even.
it should be, but it should be equal on each side, because you don't know about the presence of the stepfather either. You don't know the intention of the stepfather either. And odds are you have a higher chance of being abused on any level
There we go. That's
by the man who claims to be straight. And let me be clear, by the man who claims to be straight
is
that
this
pulls up
distract?
on your mama. No, because there are a lot of men who will prey upon mothers just to have access to their children. I said what I said. Fight with your mama and your daddy in the comments.
I have nothing on that particular moment. I can't make any judgments.
You know it's true. There are men. One is on trial now and been in jail. R. Kelly, who would prey on women with children, take the children on tour as a guise of, "Oh, let me build up their career." There are men who legitimately prey. Now, am I absolving women from this? No. Am I making excuses for women? No, because I think they're disgusting, regardless of their gender or their gender identity. I don't give a fuck. It's just women who, and some of y'all parents need to stop stunting your daughters, because you keep them trapped in that teenage mentality. And when they become adults, they have that teenage mentality and go after teenage boys. And once again, I'm not making excuses, because once we become adults, we need to start breaking away from shit and start looking back at our past through different eyes. Because I know I do. I've had to apologize to my parents 11 times, because there have been times I've accused my parents of stuff, been mad at my parents, and realized I deserved the punishment. I did it. My parents didn't do anything wrong, etc., etc. That the rules that were handed down to me were to make sure that I was going to be a good and effective adult when I became an adult. But a lot of y'all stunt y'all kids so much that they never mentally move out of the teenage phase. So you got these grown ass motherfuckers running around going, I identify as a child. No, the fuck you don't. Your parents just fucked you up. Go to therapy and fix that shit. Don't prey on our kids right now.
Okay, so let's move on to the next point. So I got my thing on. Let me know if this is good.
Move it down just a little bit.
Good?
Perfect. Bilbo before we had Bilbo.
I do. Hot tea on a cold night. Perfect.
Flynn said you could help us find a way to get back to it.
Natural science.
Huh?
That's why I'm here, in case you're wondering. I've dedicated my life to studying flora and fauna.
Who?
There are many strange and wonderful things that occur in nature, but no one takes the time to really look and study. Observe.
This guy's a nutbag.
Okay.
Behold.
Now, right after that, he gives a riddle. Do you want to tell the riddle?
I think we'll save that for a little bit later because we still got another. We can hold 30 seconds on that, and then we'll discuss that.
Fair enough. Now, my question is, now when we had the viewing party last night, and anybody that wants to join us when we have the preview viewing party, either hit me up on TikTok or hit up DMAC. Sorry, I keep forgetting everything is in reverse when I'm on here. And we can add you to the Saturday night Zoom call when we actually view everything in its entirety, and you can feel free to view it with us. We're not keeping anything from you. We're just trying not to get a CGV on here. Now, originally, and you know this, DMAC, because we went over each other's questions last night at certain questions regarding this part. But then the more I thought about it, that scene goes to privilege.
Explain.
Because if children of color would have been told to venture further into the woods to go to a person's house, because what you all didn't see is that there was a scene that they could go to a certain spot and catch a cab to go home or venture further into the woods to this man's house. A child of color would have opted to at least go to the road and follow the road back to town, even if they didn't take the cab.
Well, see,
Two white kids.
That scene hasn't come up yet, though. That comes after this.
Okay, but two white kids decided in good conscience, I'm okay enough, I'm protected enough that I will go deeper into the woods to somebody's house that I don't know anything about them, but I am going to believe that I'm safe and protected. That's the problem. And the fact that this is perpetuated on a TV show, it made me think once again, as an adult, looking at the ratio of missing children right now, Black and brown children are not just walking out their houses and going missing.
No.
I said what I said.
I mean, we can speak to that with the I don't know if you saw Crystal Crave's video about those missing children in Ohio. Now, you tell me how about 6 to 7 children went missing within the same amount of days. Some on the very same day.
I saw her video, and it was, you know where I live, and you know I am close enough that I do get some Ohio news. Not all of it. I don't get all of it. And I was going to put out a video, but as many of you all know, I am stuck on my backup page and I was just like, I don't know if this is going to get traction. When I saw her video, I was like, yes, queen. Yes. Thank you.
Explain to me how all 6 of these kids, 6 to 7 kids are missing and they're all under 17 and younger, and there's no news, there's no national, there's no nothing.
And I
Explain.
know the areas that they went missing from. It's not easy to go missing from these places because there's no part that's not heavily populated, that's not heavily trafficked. Like, I know I live in basically a podunk town. We've talked about this because if I decide to walk to the store, don't I put one of y'all on the phone with me?
For the most part, yeah. If I'm not available, somebody else is.
Right. And if nobody's available, I sit my ass right here till somebody's available. But these are places that I've visited, that I've gone to school in, that I have friends in, that there's no place you can go where there aren't a bunch of people outside that can't tell me what the fuck happened to you. But we got another good comment. Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Facts.
And the minister that performed the ceremony, and y'all quit giving this minister sympathy. He knew that that was a minor. He knew that there was some fuck shit going on. And he still did what he did, knowing that the documentation was forged. And I'm the daughter of a pastor. My daddy is ordained to do marriages. Little known fact, so am I. I will not officiate your marriage. If I even get an inkling that anything is falsified, I'm going to make you show me all sorts of proof and give me numbers so I can call the places and verify it. I'm not doing it. But a lot of these people get away with this stuff because they're backed by other people who enable them. But let's go to the next.
Good.
Yep, perfect.
Ah! The perfect choice. This is a riddle that has perplexed many and confounded even more. Now, young lads, it's your turn to solve it. Here we go. What is it that has no weight, can be seen by the naked eye, and if you put it in a barrel, it would make the barrel lighter? I hate riddles.
Okay, it's weightless. It can be seen by the naked eye.
So, I had to take out my headphones there. Hold on one second. Let me put them back in.
But does anybody know the answer to that riddle?
We know because we saw it last night, but if you didn't hear it, I will repeat. Let me know in the comments. We'll give you a few seconds.
Yeah. Let's see if anybody knows. And as we wait, don't forget we have 2 merch lines that go side by side, Tazisms.com and Petty University. You can find both of those links and the link tree that's attached to this page. So if you don't already have the merch, get the merch. And if you put up a video and tag us, you know what, D-Mac? I just got an idea. The next 5 people who buy merch from either Tazisms or Petty University, once you receive it, you put up a video and you tag both of us or either one of us, we'll have you on the show to talk about it. How about that?
Sweet. I'm down. Does anybody still in the comments? Did you hear the riddle?
Oh,
If not, then
I don't think they're stuck.
So
Wow.
So the riddle is, if you did not hear it, if you want a little bit more clear, because I know the TV and the sound, so forgive me. So the riddle is, is what is, oh gosh, see, now I'm forgetting it as I'm trying to remember.
What is lighter than air, but when added to a barrel, does not add to it?
Basically, it's what can you put inside this barrel that'll, one, make it lighter, can be seen by the naked eye. That's basically the gist of this thing. The answer will come out in a few seconds, and I know we have to do another episode here, so we're going to speed up a teensy bit here. So basically, I'm going to show the answer. So just give me 1 second to just cue it up there.
And if put in a barrel,
And if you didn't put your critical thinking cap on, this answer is gonna drive you nuts. I ain't gonna lie.
We got it wrong too.
And I'm usually really good at riddles. I just solved a riddle earlier that day, but I still got this riddle wrong. So
40 years ago,
oh, I guess I should do it like this.
My hair's up and down the doctor makes out.
of course she is. They were ghosts.
Nobody leave. Wait till you see the.
Okay, so I got it queued up. Now I got to get my timer queued. Hold on. Oh, ooh, Jesus! The hand of God.
Don't break the baby. Don't break the baby.
Hand of God, honey. Ooh, that was close.
We are still in infancy. Do not break the baby. Don't become
Trying.
Texas, baby. Don't become Texas.
Okay, so here we go.
Perfect, right there.
Motion we're gonna make.
I got it. I know the answer.
What is it?
It's weightless. You can see it, and if you put it in a barrel, it makes the barrel lighter.
Say it!
It's a hole. It's a hole in the barrel.
Here we go!
Didn't crash. We're alive.
Where's the cab?
It's gone. We broke the curse. We're saved.
Okay, first of all, the acting back then, Lord have mercy. How do we believe anything back then? Like, who? You know what? You know what? We are older, wiser, and smarter at this point. But let's get past that. If the curse was broken, and we discussed this last night, when a curse is broken, the curse is broken for everyone that was underneath the curse. Where was the cab driver?
He went where he was supposed to go, darling.
He should have went straight to hell.
Well,
You should
again,
have seen that in the scene.
darling. What?
My thing is, if you are out there trying to trap children to be trapped in the same dimensional loop that you are trapped in,
They were already there in the dimensional loop. We discussed this last night. They were already in the dimensional loop. What happened is they broke the dimensional loop by guessing the answer.
yeah, but it was his job to keep them there because they could have gotten out.
Yes, but he wanted to get out. That's the key. He wanted to go.
Yeah, well, he needed to go to. Okay, I'm just being evil at this point. Let's go to the next episode. Oh, wait a minute. Before we move on, and a lot of these shows, do y'all notice that it's only the younger sibling with less wisdom and less knowledge that's always the skeptical one? They start off with being very trusting. Then the older sibling is like, oh, it's okay, it's all right. And then the younger sibling becomes the super skeptical one. And the older sibling is like, why you got to be so skeptical? Why you got to ask all these questions? Why you got to do all this? Let's just do this. Why the role reversal if you're trying to act like those of us that are not the eldest are dumb? But I digress. Let's go on to the next one. Why are my fries cold?
We didn't break the curse. You did. Listen.
Oh, and quick side note, anytime you all see this, I do have like mild carpal tunnel. This is not like a new injury because every time I put this on, people bombard my DMs thinking that something happened to me or somebody did something to me. No, they didn't. And you'll see me undo the strap from time to time to scratch because everything
It's
itches
itchy.
for me. But no, it's nothing new. Nobody did anything. I just want to put that side note in because I just thought about it because I just saw a DM pop up where somebody's like, what happened to you? Nothing happened to me. Nobody did anything to me. From time to time, I do have to put this on because y'all do know I work in IT. I type a lot during the day. So hazard of the job. So, I am good. And David will tell you. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me in my house. I am very unhinged. We might do a combined story time tomorrow. We might. Me and him will talk behind the scenes because I think this story time will give y'all a good laugh. But we need to talk to one other person before we do that. About yesterday, David.
Good Lord.
But I need to, you know who I need to talk to before we decide to do a story. I mean, it's funny now. It wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now. It's one of those. Okay. Are you queued up and ready to go?
Yep.
What is it? Are you ordering food?
No. I'm looking at a bill.
Oh. That tells you where my brain goes. I think every time somebody look at they
I'll worry about it later.
I'm just gonna tell y'all this quesadilla burger, it's busting. Yes, it's busting.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Here, start for real this time.
Okay. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this story The Tale of Laughing in the Dark. It was Friday night, and playlighting was jamming. For thousands of kids, it had everything they wanted. But for one kid, it had just a little...
Sorry, we can't get a content violation. So I know these 30 seconds is not enough, but we have to make do with 30 seconds each time. So sorry. I'm sorry. I wish I could play more. Come to the Zooms. You'll see the episodes in their entirety, and there'll be no breaks.
Well,
so, as the title suggests, it is called Episode 2, Tale of Laughing in the Dark. So, this particular tale takes... Now, if you guys have clown issues, I'm sorry for this. I am sorry. I beg your pardon now. If you have clown issues, I say get out now. Leave now, because we will be discussing this episode that does have a clown villain.
Or
Okay?
Close your eyes until you hear our voices again. Because that's why I told my son, who normally watches the show, not to watch, because he had a traumatic experience in primary school with the clown. We're not going to discuss how I handled that. So yeah, if you want to just close your eyes or black out your screen till you hear our voices again, when you hear us talking, there will be nothing playing in the background, nothing playing anywhere. That is not what we're doing. We are not shock jock people. That's not how we go.
So my first two notes that I have here are one, a carnival, two, a spook house. You know, I don't understand why carnivals have spook houses, to be honest. This is supposed to be a place for fun, not shock. So I'm a little confused at that. But then the real reason, as we were discussing last night, is why these kids are by themselves yet again. Where are
Especially
the
late
adults?
at night. And my thing is, I know the history of carnies. And the children that we see in this episode, their parents, from what we see later in the episode, are old enough to understand carny life and how they're able to draw children in, groom children into the carny life, and have them travel with them. And I think the spook houses were one of the measures that they took to groom children, but they could only get certain children to do it. And why would you do that? But I also got other questions about some cuisine that is brought up later that I know a lot of y'all will think is inconsequential, but we'll come to that later.
Yeah. Yes. So that was the first set of thinking. So we're gonna move on.
Because I know I wasn't allowed after a certain hour. Because these kids, it's not like, oh, they went at 2:00 in the afternoon and lost track of time. Throughout this whole episode, every time these kids went to this carnival, it was after dark. Now I know we Black kids in the United States, because of sundown towns and sundown mentality, we're told to be home when the street lights come on. But I'm sorry, as a minor, what business did I have out after dark by myself unsupervised?
Not a blame thing. So here we come to the next scene.
Now, let's roll this beautiful bean footage.
Everybody good?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Getting chicken again? You get it. I'll wear it. Now I'm gonna show you guys how stupid it is being scared of this place.
Sorry, my man. I didn't mean to.
We're gonna continue with that. Just we have to talk a few minutes before I can do that again. So
Okay. Hold on, let me take you down. I gave Derek the Cliff Notes version, and you know who is trying to flirt and take me off my game on this show. We're not going to say publicly who you know who he is.
shenanigans. Anyway, so we're gonna continue along with that scene. I just have to give like about 2 minutes in between that, so that way it's not looking like we're sitting here viewing the entire thing. Because again, we don't need Deke or Viacom or whoever owns this still to come for this video and
But
block
here's
it.
the thing. Have y'all noticed that the biggest bullies have the biggest trauma in their lives and the least amount of love from their family? And I'm saying family blanketly for a reason, because it goes further than mommy and daddy.
True.
It goes way further and way deeper than mommy and daddy. They have no connections to really anybody in their family, and they think that connecting with anybody means that they have to dominate someone else in order to connect with another person. And that's what this little motherfucker is doing in this episode. And if you think I'm joking, hold on to your boxers, hold on to your boy shorts, your bikini cuts, your thongs, whatever you decide to wear, your boxer briefs, your tidy whities, cause baby, you only decide to do crazy fuck shit when you need acceptance. Cause other than that, you ain't doing crazy fuck shit that actually scares you.
No, you won't.
Because I'm very secure in who I am. And trust and believe. If somebody was like, Taz, prove to me that you're brave by climbing to the top of this active volcano. Bitch, fuck you. I'm going home and having an iced coffee. I will watch you burn on the news. I'm not.
All right, so I can show the rest of this. Well, some of the rest of it, not all of it.
All right.
Good.
Yep.
Get a grip, Josh. Look at me, I'm Zebo. Zebo. Hand over the dough. What do you think I am, some kind of clown?
You think I am some kind of clown?
Maybe we shouldn't let him go in there all alone.
No, he deserves this.
And see, here's the thing. This is when the trope of demonizing gingers began to really take fire. Because we all know at this point that gingers are the black people of white people. And how do you as a white man call a whole nother white child? Seems like you Zebo. You gonna call him a clown to his face? That's a child. Now, are there some children that are super disrespectful that I will put in their place? Hell yeah, I will snatch them up and set them right in their rightful place in a minute. But I'm not going to disrespect the child. Oh yeah, Derek, the cab driver in the last episode, he went back to his loop of hell. He in my opinion, he was never cursed. He agreed to be in that position. That's my interpretation of the show. My interpretation. Singularly mine. I do not know what the writers thought. I do not know. You all can tell me your interpretations as you watch this, whether live or when you come across it. This is simply my interpretation. But for this one, yeah, I know this little motherfucker was disrespectful as shit, but you ain't have to do him like that. You didn't. I mean, he was already treated like a redheaded stepchild by his own biological parents. But I digress. Let's continue. Wait. Hold on. Let's wait for D-Mac to come back. I don't know what happened with the connection. But what do y'all think so far? What are your opinions? Like I said, please like, share, and subscribe, and click the little bell at the top so each time we go live, you are alerted and you can chime in.
Sorry, technical difficulty. My bad. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
That's fine.
So
you are not scared. Stop commenting that in my comment.
Good Lord. Anyway, let's turn this around. Let's get this going.
I'm about to beat somebody's ass.
You good?
Yep.
I'm gonna do. Give me back. No way, Reach. You're not scaring me. It's a joke. He's trying to get me. I'll show him. I'm not scared. He can't carry his kid stuff. There's no such thing as Zebo the Clown. No way. I'll just eat dinner and
This super privileged child is scared out of his boots, but still wants to put together a semi-proper place setting for frozen spaghetti that his parents left him in the freezer. If that doesn't tell you that certain folks value their privilege over everything else, and this is why they go after sounds that they hear that go bump in the night. Because I'm sorry, I'm not chasing a sound to see if it's no, baby, no. Mm-mm. You can kill whoever decided to come see what you were doing. You can destroy or take whatever's on that floor that you decided to enter. You ain't gonna see my black ass. You ain't. Because I'm sorry, the last thing on my mind when I'm having the call is coming from inside of the house is me trying to put together a proper place setting. You're not gonna call my house, not my cell phone, my house, and threaten me, and I'm still gonna be sitting there chilling, baby. But I'm getting a full police escort. And I know I'm an ACAB motherfucker, but guess what? I will be ACAB under their protection. They're going to have to be pissed off that my ACAB ass is who they had to come and protect.
I'm just saying.
But he's still the redheaded stepchild because his biological parents still ain't at the house, which explains why he can roam the streets from sunup to sundown. And they talk about black parents. Now, we were latchkey kids. That didn't mean we could leave the house and roam around. Oh, no, baby. That meant you stay in the house. You was there till mama and or daddy got home. You better not turn shit on. You better not touch shit. You better not answer that phone. And once we got caller ID, then you could answer the phone for certain numbers because that means mom and daddy was calling to check to make sure you was doing what you was doing. You don't even peek out the motherfucking blinds. And don't have the TV too loud, because if somebody come to the door and hear that you in that motherfucking house, baby. Hold on. That introduction took me back to homework and the smell is good. Oh, yeah.
What introduction?
With the ginger.
Oh.
No, baby. It took me back to square pizzas and square tacos. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them school tacos did not fit in your hand like this. You had to hold them like this. Actually, I don't know why they don't make tacos like that in the real world. That would make more sense because you would get a bite of all the ingredients at the same. I digress. We'll talk about that later. Let's go to the next part.
We good?
Wait. Yep.
okay, I shouldn't have taken your nose. I'm sorry. There, it's all yours. And just to show there's no hard feelings, cigars. All for you.
My thing is, how did he know the door to escape from the beginning? Two, how did he motherfucking get sick? But that door opened up. No. The first time he went, he guessed and got out. But two, how did he motherfucking get cigarettes to bribe this? You know what? This is why these kids was too grown back then. They was these are the kids that had home mortgages in their names. These are the representation of kids that had water bills, electric bills, telephone bills in their names. Like, this is why certain companies make you verify that you're over the age of 18 when you try to change your name on a bill or get a credit card. This is a child that probably had 6 credit cards and his name that he didn't know about and went off to college. And like we all know, as college freshmen, they bombard you in the courtyards and everything else. Oh, sign up for this and they give you cutesy free stuff that you're like, oh shit, I could use this, or I need this discount off of this, or I need this free stuff. And then you find out you denied, and you're like, well shit, I ain't even got no credit. Why am I denied? Oh, you got credit, baby. It's in the trash. Because of parents like that. This motherfucker had a whole goddamn box of cigarettes to bribe Sideshow Bob with.
It's cigars, actually.
It was true. And he knew that his parents wasn't going to miss it. That's not a latchkey kid. He didn't even have a nanny there at the house with him. That's the epitome of CPS should have been called. But they put it on the whole show. And you know, as much as white folks, especially white women, especially cisgendered, straight Christian white women, love to go, oh, that's wrong. Protect the children. They ain't say shit about this show because they knew they was doing this to their own goddamn kids. Hell, I know somebody who loves to take 2 or 3 trips to Vegas every year and don't tell nobody in the family that they minor kids are just chilling in the house by themselves.
Here's the thing with this. I'm gonna stay on that. Because then there's this one last scene I want to show, and then we can end it. With that particular situation, or any situation at this particular point, we have to literally view this in the lens of this was the 90s that this came out. Kids weren't as squishy and soft as they are now. Because now we got participation trophies. And I'm just like, okay.
And now we have more parents pretending to care about their own children. Because I will say, back in the day, our parents did care about us. That's why they prepared us for certain stuff.
They trusted us a lot more to be.
But they also prepared us for stuff, and they actually raised us. Now we live in a day and age where parents aren't raising their kids. Get mad if you want to by what I'm about to say next. I don't give a fuck, because I'm about to say what I have to say, and I'm going to say it with my whole chest. People gave up on raising kids and just started housing kids.
No lie.
And there's a difference between a raised child and a housed child. Because when y'all started coming out with that's my little broke best friend, that's when I knew these bitches are, and these Negroes, and actually these bitches and hoes, bitches for the women. Well, take it how you want, man or woman, hoes, man or woman, or non-binary. I don't give a fuck. These bitches and hoes are out here housing these kids. Because when you want to look at your child and say, that's my broke little best friend, where your actual friends are, why are you putting adult situations on this child that you're not even raising? You acting like they came out your quad or your sacky sack fully developed, and with the same life experiences and the same wisdom and the same intellect that you have. You're putting all this on this child and wondering why when this child turns 18, they don't want to fuck with you because they never had a childhood. You made them your therapist. You made them your man. You made them your woman. You made them your bestie because you couldn't make friends, because you couldn't get a partner. Whose fault is that? And don't tell me, oh, it's because I had such and such amount of kids. Baby, I got 4 kids, and I done collect the husbands like they action figures, okay? I collect them like they motherfucking Pokemon. So miss me with that bullshit. And I'm evil as fuck. I'm hard to get along with in a relationship. I'm the motherfucker you have to convince to be in a relationship with you. I know this. I know this about myself. And if I can do this,
let's go on.
the most fun in the park when you're laughing in the dark.
So of course it would be a middle-aged white man. It would be fucking with kids. I said what I said. Argue with your mommy and your daddy in the comment section. And if you didn't catch what I was putting down, when this broadcast is over, scroll to this moment, rewatch that. Of course, it would be a middle-aged white man that was fucking with kids.
So, on our show review today, we have reviewed again 2 episodes from season 1 of Are You Afraid of the Dark? The first one, which was The Tale of the Phantom Cab. The second was The Tale of Laughing in the Dark. We will be reviewing a few more episodes. We're going to review the whole first season. So we only did.
Well, I think we're going to do 2 at a time, so we don't run over.
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
It depends. We're going to try our best to keep it to 2 if we can get through 3 episodes, and we'll just have to basically go through 2 and save 1 for the next episode. It's fine. We're working this out as we go. But so we're going to be reviewing these. We're going to also give our commentary, backstory if we have any on anything. This is a new series for both of us. If you guys can think of a title for this,
yeah,
leave
that'd be great.
Because I don't know what a title could be for this.
I don't either, but
childhood review. I don't know, anything. Just
and
throw it
once
out.
you all come up with the title, he and I will get together. We will create a logo. We'll have it in the background like we have the overlay now, and it will also be what you can recognize on this channel if this is the only series you want to follow, because I try to align things with certain subjects. So if people only want to engage in certain series, then we can do that.
Can we just talk about the cell phone for 5 seconds? What do you mean by that? I'm confused.
Oh, how big? Are we talking about how big it is?
Oh, the cordless phone? Oh, girl. Ooh, the shenanigans, the shade of those phones back in the day. Ooh, I don't even know how we survived.
Baby, you had to be Arnold Schwarzenegger to lift them motherfuckers up.
Them things were so heavy.
You one arm. If you was right-handed, you had muscles on your right hand. If you was left-handed, you had baby.
Ooh, Lord.
Baby.
Just thinking about, oh my gosh, Saved by the Bell, those cordless phones, Jesus. Woo.
But if you all want to be added to our Zoom viewing parties, like I said, either comment here. Actually, it would be better if you just hit up me or him on either Instagram or on TikTok and let us know. And next Saturday, we can add you to the viewing party so you have more context onto what we're talking about, because we know it's been a while since maybe you have watched these shows, and we want you to have full context and know exactly what we're talking about. And we are limited here on YouTube. But as we round it out, final thoughts, D-Mac?
I would say for me, for final thoughts for this, again, I have loved this show since I was younger. My sister would literally, the SNCC block on Saturday evening was the jam back in the day. I don't know if anybody remembers that SNCC block where it had this, all that, Ren and Stimpy, and Roundhouse.
Oh,
I mean, that block was just a saving grace, especially for older children. I'll say that, like preteens.
Mm-hmm.
It gave us that preteenness, and even though it came on like around 9:00, and bedtime was supposed to be like at around 10, it was just that extra like, oh, we're sneaking to watch this. You know what I'm saying? So this series, I know there's 2 extra seasons after this with, I believe, his stepbrother Tucker and a new set of kids. I haven't been able to find those 2 seasons to buy them to complete the collection. So I only have the first 5 seasons with the most of the original cast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the ones we're going to be reviewing for now until I can find the other 2, and then we can discuss those at a later time. But for now, the first season, you can see it's a first season. I'll say that the first season, you can tell it's a first season. Like, there are choppy mistakes everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you see us, when you see it on the Zoom, when we do our Zoom, you'll see like, oh my God, how were we scared of this? How?
You were so right. Because even with these first 2 episodes, we kind of looked at each other like, how do we buy this? Like, but it goes to show you the difference between a child brain and an adult brain. And my final thought on this is, please take away from this and share this with whoever you need to share this with. Toxic adults, stop going to children thinking that you're going to find out about the adult's life, because how children view the world is a whole lot different how adults with life experience view the world.
True.
But as always, till next week with this series, each one teach one, each one reach one. Till next week, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Bye.